What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Today's Money, where we help you get your mindset right and help you get your money right. Today, we're talking about the biggest lie that we tell ourselves. I think in all fields and in all relationships, subconsciously, we've said this to ourselves at least once in our lives. All of us, even you, Rylee, are susceptible to this. That lie is that our value is equal to our performance. So what we're going to talk about today is how that sentence, value equals performance, has penetrated your thought process, my thought process, your thought process in certain things that we do because of previous experiences, and how I want to break that and throw that out completely, because I think, especially in trading, you can't attach your value as a human being to your performance. You know, you've heard me say it many times. I am more than my trading. When I first got into trading, I felt like I could only be a trader, and I had to just be a trader, and that was all I could be. And in that frame of mind, you can find success because it makes you hungry, it makes you motivated, it pushes you when you're in that state of mind. But at the same time, it can lead you down this path of accidentally, subconsciously attaching your value as a human to the performance in that thing that you're so committed to. Does that make sense so far?
Yeah, so when was the first time in your life that you ever felt that you did that?
Sports is always the first thing, because I've been playing sports my whole life. I feel like as a kid, if I didn't perform well in my sport, I felt like I was worth nothing. Like, I remember feeling so upset when we would lose games in soccer, or I remember playing baseball and basketball a lot as a kid, travel teams. I would attach my value, my worth as a human, to how we performed Saturday in 3 out of 4 soccer games or 4 out of 4 soccer games.
And did you attach your value to that because, like, did that all come from you and the negative self-talk in your head, or was the value attached because of other people around you's reactions?
Good question. Both. It's definitely reinforced by social standards and what's going on around you and society's definitions of things, the societal norms. But then it's like overbearing when it becomes that point, because then you get into that self-talk and that self-spiraling loop. And when I was younger, 15, 16-year-old Austin didn't think the way that I think now. I wasn't as aware of my thoughts and my actions, right? I wasn't able to catch that. So now I can look back on that and say, like, I probably would have played better in the next game had I not attached my value to my performance. Don't you agree?
Because then you had the negative self-talk, and then you weren't positive
100%.
and on your A game
100%.
for the next game.
The next week, you're beating yourself up about it. You're carrying that negativity with you the whole week. So relate that to trading. With my trading, if I attach my value to my performance and I don't trade well for a week or a month or a couple of months, how hard is it going to be to bounce back and start getting on a winning streak? It's going to be really hard, because you've just been losing, and all you're going to do is think about your losses and how much you suck. But if you separate and you say, well, where is my value, right? So that's where we need to get to help everybody give some context to this really by the end of the video, is how do you then find your value? If your value as a human isn't determined in your performance, in your outcome, in your results, where is your value derived from? And that was why I wanted to talk to you about this, because that's the part of this that I'm not clear on. Where is my value as a human then? It's clearly in multiple areas. I know that it's not just one thing. This is how I'm valued in the world, and how my relationships in society and my trading career is all viewed based on this one value. That doesn't happen. So it's a lot of different things. Do you have anything that comes to mind when I ask that?
For myself, personally?
Just in general, like, where do you think your value as a human should be derived from if it's not from your performance?
I feel like every human has like a core, inner flame, inner light, whatever you want to call it, that gives you the ability just to be human, to do any of the things that you just said, play sports, trade, whatever it may be that people attach their value to. And I think that as humans, we have to remember that being human is enough. We don't need any other value from anything or anity.
So just being is enough.
Yeah, absolutely.
So this is where, like, the meditation and all the rah-rah stuff comes into play a little bit, because some people will hear that and be like, what, just being is enough?
Yeah, but think about it. Like, we are human beings.
Yeah. Just being.
Like,
I'm just being.
Being
instead
is
of saying,
enough.
like, just chilling, I'm going to be like, I'm just being.
Like, whether we're filming this video, whether you're eating, whether you're sleeping, whatever it is you're doing.
Right.
At the core of that, what are you? A human being.
You're being.
Like, the sentence, I am.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, that's enough. That's all you have to be. That's all you have to, like.
So you're saying that in life, there is now permission for this rah-rah nonsense to come in a little bit and say, like, no, in what you're doing is enough.
Absolutely.
Is what you're doing ever not enough? How do you feed that? Because then when you're a high achiever like me, which a lot of people are, type A, alpha kind of shit, how do you deal with that? Because, like, what if I I could say that. I can say I am being, but
I
I
think
don't
you have
feel
to
it.
have healthy boundaries around it.
Around what? Like what you're doing in your life, like your work and your
Yeah,
relationships and your
so
personal stuff?
for somebody like yourself, you're a high achiever. You love to learn. You love to just do. And, so for someone like yourself, you have to kind of create boundaries to where you have your to-do list, you have your things that you like to do to keep the ship moving forward, keep the momentum, But at the end of the day, you can't attach your value to any of those things you're doing. You're doing it because you see an end goal in mind and you're a human body that wants to fulfill this end result. So you have to take the necessary steps to get there. But you also have to be kind to yourself along the way and realize that everything you're doing is enough. Even if one of those steps, maybe, something goes a little wrong, whatever the little fuck up is, like it just doesn't go as planned, you still have to be able to be kind to yourself and say that, like, I still did my best. Like, I'm a human being. Just my ability to even be able to mess up is still me being. Like, I'm still doing
It kind of ties into
something.
the 4 agreements. Like just doing your best, not making an assumption, right?
Yeah.
How do you then track your performance and continue to do better in things if you know that your value is not attached to it? Like, what's the motivator then? If you detach too much, do you get what I'm saying? Like, it could be a lack. It could actually lead to less motivation to do that thing.
Yeah, I think that as human beings, it's such a privilege, honestly, to be a human being, because just as we are, being is enough, like I said. But the ability to do these other things and seek out these goals and these desires and these fulfilling endeavors. These why can't I say that word today? Endeavors. By being able to do these things, it fills us with emotions, and these emotions are kind of what we live for. Like, everywhere you go, everybody's trying to get less stressed and be more happy, So it's like, well, obviously happiness comes from within, but in order to feel that happiness in anything that you're doing, you have to be able to feel it within yourself first and feel that just being can fulfill all of those things that you want to feel. But obviously we are human and we can't just lay on the couch or lay in the freaking womb.
Right,
and
that's what I'm getting at.
Yeah, you can't just do that and be nothing all day. You have to explore, take advantage of what it means to be human and be able to do activities.
Got it. Okay.
So, like, for you were saying, like, how do you, like, measure, like, your track of success or whatever?
Right.
I feel like it depends on what exactly that end goal is, So, like, for me, one of the things I'm working is, like, trying to do a split. Me doing a split, end goal. So how do I get there? Well, you just make small baby steps along the way to track your progress. Okay, well, am I closer to the ground with my hips than I was when I started? Yeah. Okay, cool. I'm doing pretty good. Am I going to attach my value to that though, because I'm at point A, not point Z yet, where I can completely do a split, but I can do a little better? Am I going to attach myself to that? No, because I know that I'm still able to do that thing.
Right. When you envision it like that, when you say it like that, I picture a timeline in my head. And it's like, why would you judge your value based on where you're at point 1 and you're not even at your end goal yet? At least judge your value when you're at your end goal.
Not even then, because when you're at your end goal, you're going to have another one.
Right.
So it's like...
With my trading, I feel like where a lot of people get caught up on it is like they attach their value to the result of their trading, specifically their P&L, rather than what process they're following. Because like we were talking about it at breakfast today, in terms of like markets, they're not going to be year after year, day after day, month after month, consistent profits. Markets are going to come and go. You're going to have up months. You're going to have down months. That's part of trading.
Right.
So I feel like if you attach to the outcome and the performance of the trading in those down periods, you're going to beat yourself up.
Oh, yeah. And then it's going to bleed into everything
aspect
else of your life.
Right.
Yeah.
And then everything else doesn't progress forward.
Because then you're just going to have this negative, like, self-defeating mindset with everything you do.
Because it trickles over.
Yeah.
Right. But then where I'm saying you can, like, flip that is you can, instead of attaching to the outcome of the trades in that down period or in an up period, you can attach to the process that you're following to take those trades. And hopefully if that's like a tested process and a proven process, then you could say, yes, the performance right now, the outcome right now, where the value might be wanting to be attached to right now is negative, but I'm not going to attach the value to it because the value is actually attached to this underlying thing that's keeping the whole ship running.
I feel like we need to like think of attachments as like Velcro, not super glue. Attach to things,
That's a good way to look at it.
But attach loosely. Like don't be stuck on, because even you said like you should be attached to your process. Yeah, but you shouldn't be super glued to your process, because what if your process needs tweaks and fine tunings over the years, as markets change, things differ. You don't want to be super glued to that. You want to be Velcroed to it to where you can still peel yourself off without any damages and move on.
Like one of those like 3M sticky things on the wall.
Yeah, so I feel like it's like loose attachments.
I like that. Do you think that if traders were to attach their value to their performance, it will lead to negative results more often than not? Because you will eventually run into that period of time where you encounter losses, and those losses then would put you into that negative feedback loop, that spiraling loop, and it's really hard to get out of that.
Yeah, because as a trader, you can't expect to win 100% of your trades.
Right, that's what I'm getting at.
If you're attaching yourself consistently to your results, there's going to come a time where you lose.
Right.
Then what?
So really the value in where we can attach our value is in, like you said, in just being. But where I also like to look at it, like in my head, I envision it like buckets. I want to put a little bit of my value in everything that I do. Attach a little bit of my value to everything that I'm doing. To my relationship with you, my relationship with my parents, my relationship with your parents, your brother, my business, this business.
Your brother.
My brother, my physical stuff, my personal stuff, everything gets a little bit of value. That's who I am. Because those are all the things that I'm doing and the people that I'm interacting with,
Well,
So then my value is attached.
Are you confusing value with energy?
No, because I feel like if I attach my value to what I bring into those people's lives, and I make sure that I'm bringing positive value to all those people and all those things that I'm doing, my health, my wellness, your mom, my brother, everybody gets positive, then my value in the end is positive.
But wouldn't that be only viewable positive? Wouldn't that be only able to be viewed positive from your point of view? Like, what if those people on the other end that are receiving your positive value don't actually take it as positive?
Then that would be a miscommunication, and then I would look to fix that. But I think that most of them can be taken as positive. Like let's be honest, like it doesn't take rocket scientists to figure out what you can do to make somebody know that you're thinking about them or know that you're there for them, or what a business takes to know that for it to know that you care about it and for it to grow and know that, you actually give a shit about it. So it's not like a complicated thing. You know what I'm saying?
But that's why I feel like maybe you're confusing it with energy, or maybe it's the same thing, because that's the energy you give into those things. You're not really associating your value with it.
I guess my perceived value by them because I'm giving them energy is what I'm saying. Sorry, did I kick you?
Yeah.
My perceived value by them because I'm giving them my energy.
But that's you caring
about their about
what they think of you.
I care about how they value me, not my performance, more like my value that I bring to them.
You care about what their perception is of you. For what?
No. I don't care about what my perception is. I care about how they interpret, so I guess their perception of the value that I bring to them. But if I'm bringing value to all the people in my life, and I'm bringing value to the businesses and to myself and to all my relationships, then I feel like my value as a human is balanced. Like I feel like, I guess the reason I'm saying this is because I'm looking for balance.
That's still you attaching your value to other things. That's still you, because what if those people didn't view your value as positive?
Well, I guess maybe I'm attaching it to the input that I'm giving, not so much what they give back.
You can only control what you give out.
Right. And if I can control that I'm giving a little, like seeing my value as like taking care of all those things, then I feel like internally my value, how I value myself, goes up. Because I'm not attaching my value to the performance or the results of the relationship. I'm just attaching my value to my action in our relationship, like you and me.
But what if all of those things were taken from you, and then like dramatic, but say you were stranded on an island where you,
well, then yes, it goes back to just being.
None of those people were a thing. How could you attach your value to what they think of you or what you do for them?
It's so dramatic. It's like, yeah, of course. But that's where, like you said, it does go back to just being. But I think in everyday life, as human beings, we want to attach our value to something. We want to have that anchoring. You know what I'm saying? So for me, maybe it's not the right way. I don't know. I just feel like,
what is right and wrong?
My value comes in the service that I do for other people. That's just what my dad raised me on, I think, and I think just where I see myself.
So if you were unable to provide a service to other people, would you feel less valuable?
For sure.
That's sad.
Maybe. But it's just who I am.
Yeah.
Why is that sad?
Because what if you weren't able to do that? Then you would feel worthless?
Well, yeah, I mean, to me, it's like, what's the purpose of living if you're not providing a service of value, doing something to help other people and move everything forward? Like, life is not meant to just be, like you said in the last video, sitting on the couch, just living. Like at some point you have to do something and move. The ship, you know what I'm saying? Like the ship needs to row. So it's like if life is, at that point, life is worth living for no reason at that point. Then you're saying just kill yourself.
Couldn't you? No, that's not what I'm saying at all. Couldn't you say that you're just living your life for you?
Yes, but what if living my life for me is to, like, what if I genuinely, like, this is how I felt my whole life. Like, I think my purpose is to help people and to bring people together and to move people forward. So, like, if that's part of who I feel I am, and then why wouldn't I want to attach my value to that? Instead of attaching it to my performance in those relationships or a task we do together or how a business turns out. No, if this business fails, boom, we do the next business. We keep trying to bring people value. We keep trying to do things that help people. We keep trying to entertain people. I did that for a period of my life. Keep trying to bring my service, my value. That's my value, not the performance of the individual things. It's the whole act of the whole thing, I feel like is what I'm saying. And that act is sprinkled into all these little buckets of relationships and businesses and things that I'm doing. And that's how my value is spread out. So it can't be pulled away from me in a situation like you described where it all disappears, because that never will all happen. Ever. Even if everything went away and all my family and everybody's dead, I just start a new business. Boom. I could attach a little bit of value there. Piece together things that, you know what I mean? It would never all go away.
But isn't that you putting all of your value in your business?
No, not all of it. I said little pieces of it. Everything, you know what I mean? Just because everything is dead and then I'd have to start a new business doesn't mean it would get all of my value. It would get a piece of it. And then you'd replace the people and you would find new people and you would find new businesses and find new things that make you happy. And that gets a little, like my workouts, that gets a value, some value, you know?
Yeah.
But if you took that away from me, yes, it would impact me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So how do you think that you really separated your trading performance to not being like what you value?
Well, I still think I work on that every day.
How? What do you do? What does it mean to work on it?
Post on social media and tell everybody that they have to remember that all the stuff other people are posting is not true most of the time.
So why would they believe what you're posting then?
For some reason, people do. I don't know, because they know that I'm not lying, because they can tell it in my voice and in my face. They know that I don't lie to them, and people trust me. So I think that, how do I do it?
If people stop trusting you, though, would you consider yourself less valuable?
That's a good question. Probably, yeah. And that you might say is sad, but that would be, trust is a big thing. Your word, your integrity, it's a big thing, especially in today's day and age. If you shit on that, you got nothing, man. You really do. So without that, your value to the world can be, especially for a couple period of time, till some other stuff takes people's minds and you move to the back of the mind.
Yeah, but that's you attaching your value to what others think of you.
But wasn't that your question?
I don't remember.
I think that was your question. Like you were asking me if other people didn't value me.
Right, if they didn't trust you and they
if they didn't trust me.
Then where's your value? Would you still feel valuable just in yourself and what you're doing
regardless? Yes, because if I didn't, then I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing. I wouldn't be confident to be like, no, trust me. You know what I'm saying? If I didn't have the value in myself first. I'm agreeing with you.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to have the value in yourself first. But as far as like how have I detached from valuing myself based on my trading performance, like on a daily basis, it's just I was being funny about the post on social media. It's remind myself every day that one trade, 1 week of trades, 1 month of trades is so insignificant, really, in the bigger picture of how long I'm looking to trade and how long I've been trading even. Like I've been around longer than most people last. Like, did I kick you again?
Yeah.
Did it move? Is it good?
Yeah, it's okay.
I'm just saying, like, I've learned over time that if you attach your value to your performance, when your performance dips, then your personal life dips, then everything else dips, and all these other things don't go right. And it's only because you attached your value to your performance in your trading, especially. Like trading is a weird thing. You do it early in the morning, you wake up, you do this. It could ruin your whole day.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. If you attach your value to the value that you assume you provide others, what if that was taken away from you?
Well, that's separate from the trading. You asked me about how I detach from my trading value. Like
I know, but I'm just speaking right now of what you just said.
Now we're going back to the other thing. If people didn't value me, I would still value myself.
What does that look like?
Knowing that I'm enough. That's all. But I already know that. Like this is what I'm saying. Like this is why some of the consciousness rah-rah stuff to me, it's like it's rudimentary. It's so elementary. I'm like, I'm beyond that. I already know that. You know what I'm saying? At this point, I already know that I have to find the value in myself. Like you said, happiness comes from within. I already know those basic principles. And I'm really good, I think, at applying them. But now it's deeper. It's more than that to me. It's like the value now comes in from the service that I do for other people too. So I do attach a lot of value to that service only because I have control over the act of the service, not the outcome. I might think I'm doing you a great service, but it might be this shit. It might be worthless. It might be not even anything you needed. But I didn't attach my value to your perception of it. I attached my value to me acting and trying my best and doing that service and bringing my value as best I can. That's where my value is. Whether it works for you or not isn't on me. So I don't take that blame. So that's why I think we might have had a little miscommunication up until now. You follow what I'm saying now.
Yeah.
I can separate from that. The outcome is in your hands. Just like in the trade, I can only follow the process up to the trade. Then it's in the market's hands. You know what I'm saying? So it's about knowing what you can control versus knowing what you can't control and letting go of those things, which we both have had experiences that taught us that.
So if you don't want to let the outcome mess with the value of what you think of yourself, then just detach from the outcome.
Bang. That's it right there. Yeah. If you don't care so much about the outcome and you love the process, you get better results.
Yeah. I feel like
Warren Buffett said, the guys who win, I'm going to screw up the quote exactly, but it's something about like the guys who win championships are not the players who are staring up at the scoreboard every play. They're the guys whose eyes are looking down court, ready to go get the next rebound. You follow what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They're not looking at the scoreboard. They're looking at the next play.
Right.
They're processed focused.
They don't care what the score is. They just know
we're going to win the game. We'll get to the end. Talk to me when we're done. We're playing right now. Don't look up. That's the way I think you have to go about it.
But then if you lose,
your value is not attached to the outcome. Your value is attached to the performance. Okay, we lost. I'm not looking at the scoreboard. I'm still looking at the next play. I'm still looking at the next trade.
Fair.
I'm still just going to keep moving forward. The outcome is out of my control. So how could I attach my value to that? Think about it. How could you ever give the power of your values to something you have no control over? Doesn't make any sense. Does it?
Yeah. It's like, how could you ever actually give the power of
your happiness,
yourself,
yes,
to
everything,
anything or anyone,
especially to something you don't have any control over, which is the outcomes of these trades, the outcomes of these relationships, the outcomes of these situations. But you can control your input, you can control your process and what you put out, and just attach your value to that. In the same way that I was saying, attach your value to what you put out in your relationships, and that's how I value myself. Attach your value to your trading process and how well you follow that plan. Again, the outcome of the trade, can't control it. The outcome of the relationship, can't control it. But the process and what I do beforehand, I can definitely control. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's where I think it makes a big difference. Good. I think we're good.
Yeah. Anything else you want to cover?
No, I think that's good. Hopefully this helps. Let me know, guys. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, drop it below. What's our secret word?
Toast.
Why is it always food?
I don't know. That's all I can think of.
Okay. Toast is the secret word. If you watched all the way through, we appreciate you being here. Let me know if this video helped you. Again, I think this is something we all tell ourselves, that value equals performance. It doesn't. Attach the value to things you can control. The things you can't control, the outcomes of your trades, the outcomes of your relationships, all that stuff.
Or just detach your value from any outcome ever.
That's it. There it is. So hopefully it helps you. Hopefully it helps you make better trading decisions, make more money, get your mindset right. We appreciate you being here, and we'll see you in the next video.